Hey guys, this is Heretic, and in this video I'm going to give a castle update, channel update, alliance update, and show you some of the adventures that we've been on this week in War and Order. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so first I want to show you we are in the War of Frontiers in the finals here. We've won this, I believe, 4 times in a row now. This will be our 4th time. We're going to win this, and the way I can tell you is if I go over here to kill ranking, we've used 16 members on this battle. You can see here 16 people. DTW has used 47 people. We've both wiped out each other and everybody else, so we've both cleared the map, and we've got the max score that we can possibly get right now. So if the score is tied, whoever uses the less number of players actually wins it. So we'll win this one this time. And so, alright, that's one thing. 2, we have been winning all of our Elite Wars lately. We've been doing really good. The battles, unfortunately, we've been fighting a lot of rather older alliances and realms, which makes it a little bit difficult. And the reason why is wrong place here. If I go to the rankings in our globe, we're more than 1,000 ahead of second place. So until they get within 1,000 of us, we're not going to be able to actually choose them to fight against, to declare war on. And they can't declare on us either. Something funny right here, if you notice, but we're showing the KOD flag for us, and NTM showing the ATR flag. This is a weird kind of bug that's just recently started happening. There, now it flipped back. It just takes a minute to load that. So lately, if I look here in the battle report, we've just been on a winning streak. We were able to fight Sky and ATR, and that's probably the last time we're going to be able to fight them for quite a while. Again, Smoke at the top. We go again, Smoke at the top. But they've been interesting Elite Wars. The last 2 were the easiest ones that we've had. We won both of them within maybe 5 minutes of the beginning of the battle. This weekend we have BND from 1674 coming up. So that's kind of where we are. And I'll show the Fortress Wars battle in just a minute that just happened today. Our goal is to get the Gods of War for this season, and it's always everyone's goal at the beginning of the season to go undefeated. And it's a very difficult achievement to reach in most cases. We're pretty lucky. I can show you here rankings, and I can show you in our globe looking at castle rankings. Smoke is on top. Epmac is another 40 in our alliance, and I'm a 40 in our alliance. So we have 3 of the 5 40s in all of the globe that we're in. So within our globe, we're so far ahead right now, and it hasn't always been the case, but we pushed ahead. And so most of our battles with other alliances within our globe, we have the advantage by far. They would have to come with every single player that they have and just hope that we have low turnout for that particular event. Which our events here, and I'll show it, our events haven't had great turnout. The Fortress Wars today had 60. Our last Elite Wars had 50. The one before that on the same day had 57, 60, and 62 the weekend before with harder battles. So we had more people in there. But turnout's been pretty low. Honestly, we're trying to do what we can. It's a little bit difficult. You get into this part of the kind of the realm history where the real fighting within the realm is done. players have left, no one's gonna join the realm unless they really want to play with you, which is something that we've been working on, because there are people that want to play with like Smoke because they know that they would be on a good team, and this team can go a long way, and it's nice to win events, and if you do come here, you wouldn't be relied upon as far as being the biggest spender in the world. Those are good things, especially for whales, for mini whales, or for medium spenders. Not having to be the person that everyone relies on is actually a benefit. If you miss an event, it's not the end of the world. Again, as I just showed, I am castle level 40. Going to 40 plus 1 is a real hard thing. I mean, it's not just the Azurite and stuff, but there's a lot of stuff that you have to upgrade here. I don't know, probably not everyone's seen this, but you go over to Sacred Charge. Once you get to 40, you've got to go up 4 levels. So you can do one of each of these, but each one of them, they give you a little boost. Each one of them are 18k Azurite. Once you get that, then if you want to get the angels, then you have to boost up your Guardian Temple. That's going to be additional. There's just a lot of Azurite involved going up. That's why it usually takes quite a while to go from 40 to that 40 plus 1. Okay, so that's me, our alliance. And so the other thing I wanted to talk about was we did have our Fortress Wars today, which was awesome. And I'm actually going to show that here right now. And I live streamed this on the War and Order official Discord. They just announced it today, so the turnout wasn't huge. I would like, in 2 weeks we have another Fortress Wars. Join it. Even if you're competing against us in that moment, join it. It's okay. We're actually giving out commands and everything within that live stream, but that's okay. Join the live stream, chat with us, joke with us. We'll be happy to have you there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and play our Fortress Wars from today. And if you have any questions about the event, kind of what we're doing, what our strategy is, let me know in the comments below the video. Subscribe if you haven't already, and more importantly, share it with your friends who may not know about the channel. And with that, take care.